Hey YouTube. I'm going to share more about my past and everything, and it's going to be kind of hard for me to share this. And before I even get started, I want everybody to realize and understand my reason for sharing my past. It isn't. I don't want anybody feeling sorry for me. I don't want anybody to say, "Oh, poor you," because I wouldn't change my life the way it was. Even the stuff that happened to me in my childhood and everything, I wouldn't change a thing. And the reason why I say that is because I wouldn't be the person that I am today without everything that happened in my life. Even though there was so much negative and there was so much stuff that was, it was, pretty horrific. I wouldn't change it for the simple reason, I am the person I am today because of it. You know, the things that Satan put in my life to try to crush me, the Lord has taken and turned me into the woman that I am today. Okay, so with that said, I also want to say that, through listening to somebody else's testimony and everything, it helps us, you know, to accept our life's, our childhood and everything better, and realize and understand how blessed we are, or that we was in our childhood, especially if you've had like a really rough childhood. um, the the one thing that really showed me that I was blessed was the Lord put in my path a story about this boy, and the boy's mother and dad had chained him to a toilet. They fed him there. He was never allowed to come out of that room. They fed him there. And that's where his existence was. And I'm not sure, I can't remember, it was so long ago and everything, and I try not to keep stuff like that in my mind, but I remember it was just so, I mean, he was starving to death being chained to this toilet. And I remember turning and telling the Lord, I was so thankful that I didn't have to go through something like that. And I said, Lord, I am sorry that I did not realize how blessed I was with the life that I did have. Okay, with that being said, I'm hoping, that somebody out there is going to look at my life and what I've been through and everything. And, you can turn and say to the Lord, thank you. Thank you. And like I said, do not feel sorry for me. I wouldn't change a thing. Okay? I'm going to start out when I was about 2 years old. And people say that you cannot remember way back when you're 2 years old. But yes, you can. If you had something happen in your life that just was so traumatic, it sticks with you and you remember. So I was like I say, like 2.5 years old, and I remember I don't remember my father going in and getting me, but my father went in my room, and some of this isn't going to be easy for some people to hear, and I mean, I don't expect everybody to listen to this. If it's more than you can handle, just go ahead and click off it. But anyways, I remember my dad going in, or I don't remember him getting me out of my room, but I remember waking up in his bed, and his thing was in my hand, and that's the only memory I have of my dad, my real dad, and that's I didn't understand what that was all about, but then you know my mother started coming back and everything. He says, okay, that you're all done, go back to your room. And so when I left him, I went back to where my room was, and my room was this mountain of clothes. And I went in there and I laid down because I didn't have any bed. I laid in this mountain of clothes, and that's where I laid down and I went to sleep. And um, I'm sorry, I do remember a couple other things about my dad. He was drunk and everything, and he used to go to the. We had an outhouse. It wasn't an inside, plumbing and everything. And I remember he would get drunk, and on his way to the outhouse, he would lose all of his change and everything. And I remember going out through there and picking all that change and stuff up. But then my mother or my dad had left, and I don't remember too much more, until I was in like my 20s of ever even talking to him and stuff. But I went from there to living in this. It was a pretty big house. I had a huge bedroom, and in my room, my grandfather had come and told me that Satan lived in my bedroom, and there was an attic that was like an attic door that was over on the side of the wall, and in that attic was where Satan was supposed to have lived. Now I was probably oh, maybe 6 or 7 years old. And my grandfather was one of them that had, well, he was the one that molested me when I was growing up and everything. But, anyways, to get back to, I mean, I was so petrified to go to sleep at night. I remember laying there in the bed and everything, just watching, the shadows on the wall and thinking it was demons. And, I just always heard about all this, stories of demons and demonic stuff and all this scary stuff that was always all around me. And this is where I, got this spirit of fear. And if you've got children, keep your children from watching scary movies. It puts a spirit of fear in them. Don't let them do that. And but anyway, so here Satan was supposed to be living in my room and everything, and I was terrified to go to sleep at night because I thought he was going to come down out of the attic and get me. And I remember I just got so tired of being afraid this one day, and I went and I got my mother's hammer, and I was going up in the attic, and I was going to kill Satan. You know, just a little kid, I didn't know. And so when I got up in the attic, there wasn't nothing there, and just it was just a lie from my grandfather. Just I don't know why. I don't know why he would say something like that, but I used to put this dresser, in front of where the attic door was, so Satan couldn't come down and get me in the middle of the night. And so many times I would get up in the morning, and that dresser would be moved. And come to find out, here it was my grandfather was going in there and moving that dresser at night. I don't know why he would want me to be so afraid and everything, but he did. And there was other things that he used to do, that just I remember he killed this animal this one time. I don't know what it was. It was a cow or something. But of all things, he brought the eyes to us to play with. And it was some really weird stuff. And he used to stand us in front of this stove, and standing in front of the stove and everything. The reason why he would do that was, you know, like if something happened, for example, this one time my grandmother's nightgown had got cut and or ripped or something. I can't remember. I was just real little, and he had he said something, he lined us all up and he'd put me in the front of the line all the time. I don't know why, but anyways, he would stand us in front of this gas stove, and he would ask who cut the nightgown, and it was like he would take our hand, or he would take my hands. He said, "Now, if you're lying, then your hands are going to burn in this flame. But if you're not lying, then God's going to protect you." So I grew up kind of with a warped sense of, you know, who God was and why He didn't protect us, and just all this other stuff and everything. And I don't remember ever getting to the point where my hands actually went into the flames, but I remember Him having my hands pushing them toward the flames, and just it was just horrific for me, and I was just scared to death, and but like I said, I share that. I didn't really want to, share all that and everything, but I do because I hope it's healing to somebody. There's a lot of evil in this world, and there's nothing that we can do about it. You know, the person that you are today, Satan, a lot of times, if you are attacked a lot through your childhood, 9 chances out of 10, you are a big threat. You're a threat to Satan. And because he knows where your life is going to go. He knows what kind of testimony you're going to be for the Lord. And the only way he can win from everything that happened in your childhood is by you not doing anything, by you not saying anything, by you not overcoming, and allowing him to win. I wasn't going to let him win in my life. Once I realized where all that stuff came from and why everything was done, the battle was on, the fight was on. I was ready to get my mind back, and so I started searching for everything I had in me so that I would, be ready to battle Satan back and know, my enemy and all of his tricks and everything. And the biggest weapon Satan has is he's an accuser. He loves to accuse you. He loves to, you know, tell you about everything that you did in your past that was wrong. Tell you about everything that you're doing that's, you know, that is still wrong. Telling you that you'll never amount to anything. You know, telling you how no good you are. None of that is from God. None of it. And all of these voices and all these, you know, all of this that you're hearing is not coming from God. And if it's not coming from God, who's it coming from? Everybody thinks that they're attacking themselves. You always say, I'm my own worst critic. But it's not you. You are not the one that's accusing. It's Satan that's accusing you. And as long as he can accuse you and keep accusing you and make you feel like you're worthless and nothing, then he's won. Find out what God says about you and who you are. And, you know, like I said with this video, don't feel sorry for me. You know, I overcame. You know, and he did not get me. You know, he thought he did. And he tried to, but he didn't win. My battle has been fought and won. And, you know, victory is mine. You know, with that, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off because I'm not sure if I've gone over my limit and everything. But, you know, I wanted to go ahead and get this out. And, you know, the only thing that we can do that is so vitally important is every day. Every day. It's like you're born again. You're born in the beginning of the day. When you wake up in the morning, it's a whole new life. And when you go to sleep at night, it's almost like you've died. And through that day, it's almost like a lifetime. So what you choose to do in that day, you at the end of the day, either you've lived your life for God or you've lived your life for Satan. And at the end of our lifetime, it's going to be who you lived your life for the most. Who won the battle? Who do you belong to? Nobody ever said life is going to be easy. Everything is based on small decisions, you know, and that's all it is. It's small decisions, you know, and in a moment, in every decision that we make, it's made for the kingdom or it's made for Satan. You know, every tiny little decision we make. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. I want to make sure this is going to upload and everything. And I'll share more with y'all later. Much love and God bless everybody. And thank you so much for all the, you know, the responses and everything that I've been getting from everybody. I just love it. And, you know, I'll talk to y'all again soon.